Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
I'm talking to someone that you've heard many times, Roberta Hladek, who is the co-founder of the Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, which we call EMC Square, and it's really the AIM program. You need to get on the web. It's AIM.com. AIMprogram.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah. AIMprogram.com. And we were talking about what the topic of this show should be, and I think it should be choices. You know, people make dumb choices and they make great choices, and I think what you do should be able to help them to make great choices.
Absolutely.
Have you made any great choices lately?
I make great choices a lot, I think, but then sometimes, we don't make such great choices, but I think a lot of times with the help of the program, I think my choices have been a lot better than I'm doing a lot better, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that sometimes people just do silly things. They don't think first. I'll tell you that I was in a minor scrape in an automobile where I got out of my lane as we were driving by, and so I had on my fender, I had a little problem. So I had to take a driver's course if I didn't want the points. And I was actually happy to do that because I got a driver's license many, many years ago. I said, well, maybe I ought to take it just to see what's going on. And it's 8 hours or 4 hours, whatever it was. And I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot because I make different choices now when I'm driving.
Sometimes you need that little brush up. And I know that everybody goes, oh, gosh, I have to go to traffic school, blah, 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 blah. But you're right. We haven't done that in a long time. And when you go to those classes, you realize that, I don't know about there, but here, and I know in California that and this is just a dumb thing, but if you're at a stoplight and you're going to turn right on the red and there's someone in the crosswalk, you can get a ticket until they have to be all the way to the other side. I never really knew that till I took traffic school.
Yeah,
or I guess I forgot it.
Right. It is amazing that that's happened. But, I mean, and it says the thing that besides DUIs, speeding is the reason why most accidents occur. And since I took the test, and I don't think I sped, maybe sometimes I went a little faster on I-95, but now I definitely don't. But I am watching people speed like crazy, go in and out. I mean, they're just, they're waiting for an accident.
Well, I've talked about this with other people and the girls here in the office, and sometimes I think it's almost like some of the drivers think they're playing a video game.
Yeah, right.
That's what it looks like to me. They're zipping in and out and just getting so close to everybody else sometimes. But, hopefully they're driving safely and they're not going to hit anybody. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and think positive, I guess.
Of course, the people who drive these motorcycles and motorbikes, they are crazy, absolutely crazy, aren't they? They're not making good choices.
A lot of times they don't. And my other half rides a motorcycle. We have two. And occasionally he drives his bikes around. And he's been hit before by people hitting him being more defensive. But he says now, even after that, and it's been probably, 25 years since he was hit, knock on wood, he's very defensive when he rides the bike because he said people can't see you, and a lot of times they're just not paying attention, and we've had people swerve into our lane, and we've had to slow down, and all sorts of odd things.
Right. Well, when it comes to making choices, you have to really, sometimes I take a piece of paper and I put a line in the middle and I do something on the left and something on the right to try to give me, and sometimes you can't think about these things in your head. You have to, at least for me, I like to see it.
Right.
I don't know that that's how you are, but.
I do that quite a bit.
Yeah. And
I do the positives and the negatives.
Exactly. And most things are positive. I mean, I find that I have long lists of positives, and there's always a couple of creepy negatives there. But with going back to the AIM program, which I always, I'd like to fall back on that because that's why you're calling in. It gives you, I think, the power. It gives you clear head, gives you the energy to make the right choices.
Yes. And as we clear out, like we always talk about our imbalances or things that have been given to us from previous generations, etc. As we clear those out, we do see a clearer path, and we do make better choices. We make better choices in a lot of things in our lives, and more opportunities come to us. And when those opportunities come to us, sometimes maybe it's not the best choice for us, or maybe it is, but it allows us to be more clear, like you said, clear-headed, so that we can make a good choice, and a good choice for ourselves or our families.
Yeah, that's the best thing that can happen. So I was thinking about, and I'm not going to get into politics, but I did watch the State of the Union last night. I wasn't going to, but I did. And talk about choices, lots of choices that our government has to make to keep everybody safe and happy and secure. And I don't mean so much with bad people coming in, but just, everyday living. I mean, people who need health care, people who need, a good life. And that's the big choice. I mean, I would not want to be a politician, I will tell you that, because no matter what you do, it's going to bother some people.
Yeah, we can't make everybody happy, right?
No.
And we just have to hope that the choices that they do make things better.
Right.
But you never know, right?
No. Yeah, that's really the problem. It's that, unfortunately, there are almost too many choices to be made, and it's not so simple anymore. It seemed like maybe when I was younger it was simple. He's going to go here, we're going to go there. Now it's, well, do you want to do this? Do you want to go there? Do you want to be this? We have so many opportunities, especially, I guess, because of the Internet.
Yeah, before we didn't, you didn't move around as much because I guess you didn't know what was going to be at the other spot that you were in. And now you can go on the Internet and you can see the whole town. You can see how many people live there. You can get the whole 9 yards about it. And that's why, people are moving around so much and going to all these different places.
Right.
So, yeah, the Internet, I guess it's, they've been doing these studies with kids, and a lot of the kids with this bullying and the things that are happening with these young children, and how a lot of them aren't happy, and depression, and all these things that kids should not be dealing with.
Right.
Kids should just be kids and be out playing and, socializing and doing their thing, not worrying about all this stuff. And they said that since the influx of cell phones, and I think Facebook is probably a big one, that these kids are feeling not good about themselves. And I know for a fact, like, if you look on Facebook, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but...
Oh, absolutely. I'm big on Facebook.
Yeah, and we look at Facebook here, and we put up posts and things like that, and if you look at it and you see people on there and they're on vacation, you think, wow, I'm such a, some kids might think, wow, we don't get to go on these things, or, they've got this pretty new dress, or look how pretty she is, whatever. And I think a lot of that, it's kind of, they're looking at it differently than they should be, and they should be just looking at it for face value. But, I think they're saying that a lot of these kids get involved in Facebook, and they look at it and they think that all those people are doing all these fabulous things all the time, and they don't realize that's just one day kind of thing, and it's making them not feel so great about themselves or about their lives or friends, whatever. And so I think that's where AIM comes in, because we have a lot of positive affirmations on our program that can help lift your self-esteem, making you feel worthy, making you feel accepted. And not all of us are supermodels. Yeah. So, we have to all use what we have, and we all have gifts. We've all been given gifts. They might not be the same as the one next to us and, the one on the other side, but we've all got gifts. And I think AIM helps us bring out those gifts and notice that we do have those, and see the light in those paths for us to go.
Yep, you're absolutely right. I think that, and you said it, the Facebook is, well, it does actually, for some people. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time on it. I go there and I see things fast, but some people put all their pictures on there. You mean 10, 20 pictures. I don't want to see all those pictures. I mean,
what they had for dinner?
Well, no, all their friends and their events. I mean, I guess people, I don't know. I was thinking maybe these people just don't have another way to share their stuff, and they do it on Facebook because that's the whole new thing now. And, I don't mind seeing one picture of somebody, but I have a friend that hurt her head, and it split it open, and she sends us a picture of that wound. And then she talks about what happened and blah, blah, blah. And so people are all responding, oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's a whole new world. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Well, I think a lot of people are lonely. And
yeah, that's right.
The phones, we're no longer communicating with each other in person. A lot of people don't even pick up the phone to call anymore. Everything is done very, on the outside by texting.
Right.
I mean, you hear these celebrities say, he texted me to break up with me, or she texted me, or,
right, to
all
break
this
up
stuff.
With me. Can you believe
Yeah, so it's easier, you don't have to face them.
Please.
When we were kids, we didn't have cell phones, so we had to do everything in person or on the phone.
Right.
So, these kids are different, and they're not even teaching cursive writing in school anymore.
I know they're not. Now, that is amazing to me.
That, I think, that I don't agree with.
Why do you think that happened?
I guess because they figure on the phone. I mean, look at everything you can do with your phone. You can go into a store and buy stuff using your phone, just having them scan your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what about documents? What about previous generations' documents? If you're in a history class and you're reading some of these things, and you have to read handwriting, how are you going to do that if you don't know?
I have no idea. I absolutely have no idea. But I don't know, because my grandchildren don't do that. So I send them everything in cursive writing.
I think you should.
Yeah, I think I do. Look, I print and all that, but I use a computer to print. But so how are they going to sign their name on a check?
I don't know. The bank told me that checks are going to be obsolete.
Oh, really?
That's what they're telling me.
What are we going to do?
Said, but I want to use my checks.
I do too.
I like writing a check. I mean, I don't do everything on the internet, and I don't pay all my bills on the internet and all this. I don't like to do that. So I don't know. But she was telling me, you can do all this online. I don't want to do it online. I want to come in. And she's saying, just take pictures of the checks. I don't want to do that.
I don't do that either. I know.
No.
My salespeople do that. They deposit their checks by phone. I don't know I have a problem, but I'll tell you, for a while I didn't even like the ATM. But I do the ATM now.
I used to, but I don't do it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I quit using the ATM. My mom loves the ATM. She uses ATM. That's her thing. But
oh, really?
Computer, she's not. She doesn't want anything to do with it. She used to when she worked with me, but now she doesn't want anything to do with the computer. I tried to get her an iPhone. She doesn't want anything to do with it. So I guess it's just, where we are in our space and time. I know my other half, he doesn't do anything by way of the computer. He doesn't buy anything much on a few things maybe, but most of his is walking in the bank, and he pays cash for a lot of things. I mean, he's just different that way. He doesn't use credit cards much either.
Well, I like credit cards because it does give me a record of things. Cash doesn't, and that's why for my business, I do pay with credit cards. And of course, I write checks all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. I like to use my credit card, too, because then I only have to pay one bill at the end of the month. I see it all on there, and I know what I did.
Right, exactly.
Cash goes through my fingers too quickly.
Right, yeah, I feel the same way. Okay, let's get back now to talking about people who have ailments and what happens to them. I actually slipped and fell out of my bed the other day. I mean, I was just too close to the end, and I kind of hit my elbow, and it affected my upper arm. I mean, I can move all that, but it's like a little sore, and I had my massage therapist work on it. But today it was really bothering me, so I took in a leave. But I really work on not paying attention when something hurts me. So it's kind of like an energy that I say, well, don't even think about it. But sometimes it just does get in your way.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it does, and we've got a lot of things on the AIM program to kind of assist us with that. We have some of the Bach flowers like arnica.
Arnica. I should use that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, arnica works really, really good, and you can get arnica cream, and
you just rub it on?
Yeah. And sometimes it's just going to be, time will take, to heal it but keep moving it. Don't stop moving it. Try to, gradually.
Right.
Don't do a lot with it, but just keep moving, and it'll, clear up within time.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been moving it. I do everything. It's gotten much, much better. In fact, when she finished with it, I thought it was gone, but then in a few days it came back. But today I took a leave because I was going to be doing so many things, and in as much as I powerfully say, no, it doesn't bother me and just let it go, I just thought I just need a little relief.
Sure.
And so I took it, but I don't do that very often. But I will do what you said. So, but just buy arnica. Can I get that do I have to go to a health food store for that?
No, you should be able to buy it just about anywhere now. CVS Pharmacy or Rite Aid or Walgreens.
So that's kind of a home remedy?
Yep. Definitely.
Okay, I'm for home remedies, really.
There you go.
But I'll do that. Thank you very much. And then the other thing is I'm very much into massage. I do get one. I'd like one every week, but I can't afford it. So I do one every 2 weeks, and even that's hard, but I really treat myself. I say I have to do it. And, it does make such a difference. Do you get a lot of massage?
I used to, and recently I started again getting one, periodically, probably like every month or so. I try to go and get a massage, and yes, it makes a big difference in relieving stress. And, we always have talked about Stephen used to always say, use all your weapons, whatever they are, right?
Weapons.
He used to tell me that all the time. So, because some people come on the AIM program and they go, well, should I give up everything that I'm doing? Heck no. No, you can still do anything that you need to do. You can do massage, you can do chiropractic, acupuncture, continue taking your medicine, whatever the doctors have you on, continue going to the doctor. You don't give up any of that. If you have a religious practice that you do, continue with it. All of those things help, and they're all bits and pieces that we need to continue our puzzle and to keep us all going. So, yeah, definitely. Massage is a really good one because I think it keeps all of the energy flowing like the AIM program does, but it's more of a physical flowing, and it also just relaxes you, and we should take care of ourselves. We've got one body.
Yes. And for people who have not had a massage, now the person comes to my house, which is really nice.
That's great.
She brings her table, and my doggy stays underneath the table, and for an hour and a half, I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, and it makes you feel good, and that's what it's all about. Because it's us making us feel good.
Well, I think to be able to relieve the pressure, the stress of all those things, and it has to be something that is really, it's healthy too. When you think of it, she is moving around all that liquid inside your body and those muscles, and I just think it's very important that people have a massage.
I agree with you. Totally agree with you.
So
makes us look younger too.
And now there's massage for dogs.
Mm-hmm. They also, one of the girls that works for us, and she's one of the facilitators in Florida. She works with horses.
Ah.
She gives them massages, and acupuncture, and I forget what else she does with them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can see. If the natural, if you hurt yourself, you take your hand and you rub it, right? I was just rubbing my hand. I didn't hurt myself, but you rub your hand, and that's a natural instinct to, I guess, move the blood around, move the muscles, move whatever happened. And that's really, massage is doing that, but you don't have to be hurting. It just moves everything so it's not stagnant.
Yes, it continues the healing process. And we're not all the time are we perfectly in balance. So when we have massage, it just keeps all that energy moving and keeps it flowing through our body. So all of the muscles and joints continue to get blood and circulation where they need it, because it can get stagnant. And when it gets stagnant, that's when we're not feeling good. So it's a good idea, definitely.
Yeah. And, something you and I have never talked about, but I'm just going to share this. I don't think I've talked about it, but there's an organization called Science Care. Are you familiar with it?
I do know them.
And I signed up a long time ago with Bill, and I've always believed in that because it's for people that don't know, it's instead of burying your body or cremating it, you get to you donate it to science. And I've talked to doctors about this, and I say, did you have a cadaver when you were in medical school? Yes. And what they do is they love their cadaver. Oh, the semester's over, and they actually bring in, it's funny, if the family members are local and they're around, they bring them in to thank them for letting them use that person's body. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, wow, that's great. My mom, my aunts, uncles, they're all part of Science Care.
Good.
And it's just an amazing thing that they, I don't know how, one of them found out about it, and then the rest of them all got involved with it. And actually, I carry a card for my mom. So,
for your mom? Okay.
Yeah, so in case something were to happen to her, then I just call a number and they come and
and it's free for
things.
Those of people who, and I mean, they advertise with us from time to time, but I'm doing this because I think it's really important that people understand how important a body is. Mm-hmm. It is. Because doctors have to practice on something, and practicing on dolls isn't going to do it.
No, and it's really important, too, for that, and then also being an organ donor.
Uh-huh.
An organ donor has saved so many lives, and I'm an organ donor, and I just think that should anything happen to me, I sure want to be able to help someone else out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely, yes, and you put that on your license, don't you?
Yes, you do.
I don't think I have that on there. I'm going to do that. I don't know how that differs with Science Care. So if you call Science Care, if something happens, then do they manage that donor?
I don't know. I have to check them with Science Care and see, because I think it's a great organization for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about how that happens. So I do have a question. When you first get a new person who joins the AIM program, do you, and the energy that you test often is 0, it's not very much. What makes it improve to get up to 100% within the year? Well,
when we come on the AIM program, it is very low, the life force. It's usually 0.00034, somewhere in there. Then as you clear out hereditary imbalances, that makes the life force rise. So as those things clear out, it releases your energy flow. Kind of like if you were looking at a fluorescent light for a business and it says open or closed or whatever, and you see little black spots within the writing where the light isn't shining through. That's kind of like what the hereditary imbalances are. So as we clear those out, then it makes that light go clear. And so our body is flowing. All the energy is continually flowing around.
I see. Oh, okay. So now, and how do you see that when someone first comes in? How do you test their power.
The life force?
Yeah.
Well, we use photographs. So a photograph is placed on a little silver plate, and then I need to have a conduit, I have to have live energy. So I use myself, and I hold an electrode in one hand, and I use the probe with the other and test my thumb, which is the lymphatic meridian, which runs throughout the body, and I can get a reading as to where they are as far as their life force goes.
So if someone they have been on AIM and their life force is 100, and then they're in a dying mode, does it literally go all the way down? No.
Sometimes what will happen is it might drop a couple of points if someone is in the middle of a transition. Maybe they're not doing well. But then once someone transitions, people immediately think that bells go off in the office and lets me know that somebody has transitioned, but it doesn't. I don't get any signs of any kind. And if I were to test someone that's transitioned, like say maybe a couple of days ago or today, a month ago, it will still show the reading that they were at the time that they transitioned.
I see.
So if they were at 100 when they transitioned, it may not drop for 6 months. It just depends.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, Roberta, we're transitioning now. We have to leave. Thank you very much. I'm gonna. By the time we talk next time, I would have looked at the CD and we can talk about it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You have
feel great.
Have a great month.
Thank you.
All right. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.